The touch of fate. The sun was already falling behind the steel mountains of Draylon City, its red light spilling across the metal streets. The air smelled of oil, smoke, and magic, the kind only old machines could breathe. In the middle of this city stood a small mechanic shop called Rust and Sparks, a forgotten place at the end of Gear Alley inside. A young mechanic named Rin worked late into the night. Rin was not a special man. He was quiet, simple, and always covered in grease. He fixed airbikes, cargo drones, and sometimes even the Royal Guard's weapons when they broke during patrols. But he never liked the Royals. They lived high above the city in shining towers, while people like Rin lived below, breathing dust and metal fumes. That evening, he heard something strange outside. A loud crash followed by a deep growl that shook the walls. Rin froze. He thought it was another broken drone. But when he stepped outside, he saw something that made his heart stop. A massive dragon lay in the alley, its scales glowing faintly like dying embers. Its wings were torn, and blood, dark blue and smoking, spread across the ground. And beside it, a woman in royal armor lay motionless. Her hair was silver, her skin pale like moonlight. Rin could tell by her crown and crest she was the Dragon Lady. Every child knew her name, Lady Seraphine Drayla. The ruler of the Sky Domain, protector of the dragon bloodline. Her dragons kept peace over the city. Her word was law. But now, she was dying right there in front of him. Rin's heart pounded. He looked around. No guards, no one else. Just him and the dying ruler. He knew he should run. If someone found him near her body, he'd be executed on the spot. But something inside him whispered to stay. He stepped closer, his boots splashing through glowing dragon blood. The dragon turned its huge head toward him. Its golden eyes met his, filled with pain and something else. Trust. Rin knelt beside the Dragon Lady. Her breathing was weak, shallow. Her hand trembled as she tried to reach for her dragon but fell short. Without thinking, Rin caught her hand. The moment he touched her, the world went silent. The air cracked like glass. A surge of heat rushed through his veins. His skin burned as symbols appeared across his arms. Glowing runes. Old and powerful, the dragon roared weakly, its eyes blazing brighter, and then, with one final breath, it vanished into light. The Dragon Lady gasped, her body lifting slightly as if something invisible had entered her again. Rin stumbled back, his heart racing. He didn't understand. All he did was touch her. But now his body pulsed with energy. The glow around her body faded, and she slowly opened her eyes. Her gaze locked on him, sharp, glowing silver. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she whispered, "What have you done?" Before Rin could answer, a loud sound echoed from the sky. Royal guards descended on flying mounts, their armor shining blue. Rin panicked. He raised his hands, trying to explain, but it was too late. They surrounded him, shouting, "Step away from Her Highness!" One of them pushed him to the ground, his face hitting the cold metal street. Lady Seraphine tried to speak, but her voice failed. One guard turned to her and froze. "My lady, your wounds, they're gone!" Everyone looked. The cuts on her skin had disappeared. The blood had vanished. Her body glowed faintly, alive and strong again. The guards looked from her to Rin, disbelief spreading across their faces. One of them said, "That's impossible." "She was dying moments ago," Rin tried to speak. "I didn't do anything, I just—" "Silence!" the captain shouted, pressing a sword to his neck. But before he could say more, the Dragon Lady raised her hand weakly. "Stop," she ordered. Her voice was calm but powerful. The guards froze. She slowly stood up, her silver eyes never leaving Rin. "He touched me," she said quietly, and something ancient woke inside. The guards exchanged nervous looks. One knelt before her. "My lady, what do you mean?" Seraphine didn't answer. Instead, she stepped closer to Rin, studying the glowing marks on his arms. "These symbols, they are from the first bond," she whispered. "The bond between dragon and human." Rin shook his head. "I'm just a mechanic. I don't know what this is." She looked at him, her expression unreadable. "You may be more than that now." Before he could respond, a shadow passed over the alley. Another dragon flying above, this one dark and menacing. The guards shouted in alarm. "The Black Order! They found us!" Seraphine's eyes widened. "We must leave now." She grabbed Rin's arm, and the moment she did, the runes on both of them glowed brighter. The air shimmered, and in a flash of light, they vanished, leaving the guards shouting and the city trembling beneath the roar of the approaching dragon. The mark of the dragon blood, when the light faded, Rin and Lady Seraphine appeared inside an old stone temple hidden deep beneath the city. The air was cool and smelled of ancient dust. Glowing crystals on the walls lit the room with a faint blue light. Rin stumbled forward, still dizzy from whatever had just happened. His heart was racing. He could still feel the burning marks on his arms. "Where are we?" he asked, his voice shaking. Seraphine placed her hand on the nearest wall. Her eyes glowed faintly, and the stone symbols began to move. "This is the sanctuary of the first flame," she said softly. "Only those of dragon blood can enter here." Rin looked around in disbelief. He saw carvings of dragons flying with humans, holding swords made of light. "Why did you bring me here?" he asked. "I don't even know what's happening." Seraphine turned toward him, her silver armor cracked and glowing faintly. "Because the bond has chosen you," she said. "The first bond was lost for thousands of years. No human has touched a dragon and lived since the Great War." Rin frowned. "Bond? What bond? I'm just a mechanic." Her gaze softened. "Not anymore," she said. She pointed to the glowing runes on his arms. "These marks mean you are connected to me now. To my dragon spirit you carry its power." Rin stepped back, shaking his head. "No, that's impossible." "I don't want any of this." She gave a small, sad smile. "Neither did I when I was chosen." Before Rin could reply, the ground trembled, dust fell from the ceiling. A deep growl echoed through the chamber. "They found us," Seraphine said. Rin's eyes widened. "Who?" "The Black Order," she answered. "Dragon hunters, rebels who feed on dragon energy. They were the ones who attacked me above the city." A section of the wall exploded, black smoke filling the air. Through the hole stepped tall figures in armor made of obsidian metal. Their eyes glowed red through their helmets, and each carried a weapon pulsing with dark energy. Seraphine's hand lit up with white flame. She drew a sword that looked like it was forged from dragon fire. "Stay behind me," she said. Rin hid behind a broken pillar. His hands shook. He had never seen real battle before. The air buzzed with power as Seraphine swung her blade. Flames roared across the room, cutting through two of the attackers. But more kept coming. One of them shouted, "Capture the boy! He has the mark!" Rin's breath caught. He looked down. The runes on his arms glowed brighter than before. A strange warmth filled his chest. He didn't understand. But something inside told him to move. When one of the soldiers charged toward him, Rin raised his hands by instinct. A burst of blue fire shot from his palms, hitting the attacker and throwing him across the room. The impact burned the stone floor. Both Rin and Seraphine froze for a moment. He stared at his hands. I didn't mean to." Seraphine's voice was calm, but filled with awe. "You can channel it already," she said. "The dragon's energy." Rin's body shook. "What's happening to me?" "There is no time," she said firmly. "You must control it or it will destroy you." She reached out and pressed her palm to his chest. Energy surged between them. The runes on both of them pulsed in rhythm. Blue and silver light filled the room, and for a moment everything slowed down. Rin could feel her memories, dragons flying over golden skies. The First War, the fall of the old world. He gasped as the visions faded. "I saw everything," he whispered. Seraphine nodded, breathing heavily. "Now you understand. The dragons chose humans once before. They trusted them, until the betrayal." Rin frowned. "The betrayal?" Before she could answer, the temple walls cracked again. A massive shadow fell across the room. A black dragon, scales like smoke, eyes burning red, burst through the ceiling. Seraphine's eyes widened. "The corrupted dragon," she whispered. "They turned one of our own," the dragon roared, the sound shaking the ground. The hunters retreated as it landed. Rin could feel the power pouring from it. Dark and cold, Seraphine stepped forward. Raising her sword, "Rin, stay back," she ordered. But the dragon turned its gaze toward Rin. Its eyes flickered, not just red, but something else. Recognition. Rin heard a voice in his head, deep and broken. The bond is not complete. He clutched his head, falling to his knees. It's talking to me! Seraphine's face turned pale. That shouldn't be possible! The dragon roared again and launched forward. Seraphine met it with her blade. The room exploded in light and flame. Rin shielded his eyes. The noise was deafening. When he looked again, Seraphine was pinned beneath the dragon's claw. She struggled, her sword glowing weakly. The creature growled, pressing harder without thinking. Rin ran forward. He didn't care about the fear, the danger, or the power. He just wanted to save her. He touched her arm, and the runes exploded with light. The dragon screamed, its body shaking violently. Blue fire wrapped around both Rin and Seraphine. The black dragon staggered back, howling. Its body began to melt into smoke. When the light faded, the creature was gone. Only silence remained. Rin collapsed to the floor, gasping for air. Seraphine knelt beside him. You shouldn't have done that, she whispered. It could have killed you. He looked up weakly. I couldn't let you die again. For the first time, she smiled. Not the royal kind, but a real one. Soft and human. You're reckless, she said, but brave. Before Rin could answer, a faint hum echoed through the chamber. The runes on his arms began to change, forming a new symbol near his wrist. It looked like a dragon's eye. Seraphine's smile faded. No, she whispered. The prophecy. It's starting. Rin looked confused. What prophecy? She met his gaze, her voice trembling slightly. The one that says, when a human and dragon bond again, the sky will burn and the bloodlines will break. Before he could react, the temple doors burst open again. More guards entered. Not enemies this time, but the royal family themselves. Their faces were pale as they looked at the marks glowing on Rin's arms. One of them gasped. He carries the dragon blood mark, another whispered. Then it's true. The mechanic has awakened the lost power. Seraphine stood tall beside him. He is under my protection, she said. But behind her calm voice, Rin could see the truth. Fear. Because whatever had just begun was far bigger than either of them. The awakening of the bond, the royal chamber was filled with silence. The flames in the crystal torches flickered weakly as everyone stared at Rin. The royal family stood in a circle around him, their silver robes glowing faintly. Each face carried fear and disbelief. Rin stood still, breathing hard. His arms were still glowing, the dragon eye symbol pulsing with light. He could feel the power humming in his chest, like a second heartbeat. Seraphine stood beside him, calm but tense. Her hand rested on her sword, the eldest of the royals. King Darren stepped forward. His voice was deep and cold. Explain this, he said. How can a human carry the mark of dragon blood? Seraphine bowed slightly. It was not his choice. My dragon was dying. And when he touched me, the bond awakened. It saved both our lives. The king's eyes narrowed. That bond has been forbidden for 1,000 years. Rin took a step back. I didn't mean to do anything. I was just trying to help. Another royal? Lady Valera spoke sharply. Ignorance is no excuse. The bond could destroy us all. Seraphine faced them, her voice steady. You don't understand. The prophecy was never a curse. It was a warning. The Black Order is already moving. They have corrupted dragons under their control. We need this bond to survive. The king looked at her in silence. His eyes moved to Rin. If what you say is true, then the boy is both weapon and threat. Rin clenched his fists. I'm not a weapon, I'm just... Before he could finish, the ground shook violently. The glass windows shattered. A roar thundered through the hall. Dark smoke poured from the sky outside. The guards shouted, They've breached the city! Seraphine turned toward the window. Her expression hardened. The Black Order has found us, she said. A black dragon swooped past the tower, its roar echoing across the city. Behind it flew ships made of shadow and metal, firing beams of dark energy into the royal walls. The king drew his sword. Defend the castle! Rin watched in fear as chaos erupted. Guards rushed out. Alarms blared. The royal family moved to escape through hidden passages, but Seraphine stayed. She looked at Rin. The bond's energy can protect the city, she said quickly. But only if we use it together. He shook his head. I don't know how. You do, she said softly. You already did in the temple? Rin took a deep breath. He remembered the warmth, the fire, the feeling of connection. He nodded. All right. Tell me what to do. She grabbed his hands. The runes on both their arms flared bright blue. The air trembled. The ground beneath them glowed with ancient symbols. A circle of light expanded, wrapping around the entire tower. Outside, the dark dragon roared again, firing a blast of black flame. But when it hit the barrier, the energy rippled like water and exploded harmlessly. Rin gasped. It's working! Seraphine nodded, sweat on her forehead. Yes, but it's not enough. The city is too large. We need to merge the power completely. Rin frowned. Merge? Before she could answer, the tower door burst open. The Black Order soldiers stormed in, weapons crackling with dark energy. One of them shouted, "Kill the boy!" Rin turned in panic. The power inside him surged like a storm. His eyes glowed blue. Fire burst from his hands. Slamming into the attackers, the room filled with light and heat. Seraphine shouted, "Focus, Rin! Don't lose control!" But it was too late. The power was too strong. The energy spread outward, cracking the marble floor. Rin screamed, "I can't stop it!" Seraphine ran forward and held his face in her hands, her voice calm and steady. "You can. Listen to me. Feel the bond." Not the fear. Her touch steadied him. The chaos inside began to quiet. The flames around them turned from wild blue to gentle silver. The energy settled into rhythm, then something new happened. The dragon eye symbol on Rin's arm began to move, shifting and spreading across both their bodies like living light. Their eyes glowed with the same color. The royal guards who remained stopped and stared. Some whispered, "They're merging." "They're becoming one," the black dragon outside screeched. Its body split as beams of dark energy shot toward them. Rin and Seraphine raised their joined hands. The energy surged. A massive dragon of light appeared behind them, a spirit dragon. Glowing with blue and silver fire, it spread its wings, covering the city. The light dragon roared, meeting the dark dragon in the sky. The collision shook the heavens. Lightning tore through the clouds. Below, people of the city watched in awe. For the first time in centuries, they saw the ancient dragon light, a symbol of unity between human and dragon. The dark dragon tried to resist, but the light burned through it, tearing it apart until it vanished into smoke. When the battle ended, silence fell over the city. The smoke cleared. The light dragon dissolved slowly, leaving only Rin and Seraphine standing on the shattered tower. Rin's body trembled. "Is it over?" he asked weakly. Seraphine looked up at the sky. "Now clear and calm, for now," she said. "But the bond has changed everything." The king and the remaining royals stepped forward. Their expressions were no longer angry, only shocked. The king spoke quietly. The prophecy said fire would fall from the sky when the bond returned. But it also said, from the ashes, peace would be born. Seraphine looked at Rin, her silver eyes soft. "You saved us," she said. Rin shook his head. "We saved each other." The runes on their skin faded slowly, leaving only faint marks like silver scars. The air around them felt lighter, far away, deep in the mountains. A dark figure watched from the shadows. His red eyes glowing, he whispered, "The bond is awake again. The war has only begun." Back in the city, Rin turned to Seraphine. "What happens now?" She smiled faintly. "Now you learn what it means to be dragon-bound." And as the first light of dawn touched the city, the mechanic who once lived in shadows stood beside a queen of dragons. Their story and their destiny had only just begun.